Hello, everyone. Phil Lee returning with an episode of Civil War Chat, a new episode. Please click on the subscribe button below here to subscribe to future episodes and also the notification bell in the far upper right to be notified when they are released. And today is February 8th, a Wednesday, 2023. Today's topic is Surrattsville, a crossroads for spies. Located 10 miles east of Washington, present-day Clinton, Maryland, was known as Surrattsville during the Civil War when it was a nexus for Confederate spies traveling between Washington City and Virginia. The Surratt family maintained a tavern and hotel in the town that is still standing as the Surratt House Museum. Surrattsville was John Wilkes Booth's immediate destination after he assassinated President Lincoln, and an intermediate point on his escape route into Virginia. Informed readers will recognize that the family matriarch, Mary, was executed on July 7, 1865, as a conspirator in the Lincoln assassination, making her the first woman put to death for breaking a federal law. Many historians argue that she was convicted unfairly partly because she was tried before a military tribunal instead of a civilian court, with a trial by a jury of her peers. Nonetheless, her eldest son, Isaac, joined the Confederate Army in the first months of the war when he was 20 years old. Similarly, her youngest son, John, was 21 years old at the end of the war when he joined a Booth-led group in a failed attempt to kidnap Lincoln the month before Booth killed the president at Ford's Theater. Although John abandoned the Booth conspiracy after the failed kidnapping and was in New York when Lincoln was shot, he fled abroad. Eventually caught in Egypt, he was extradited to the United States to be tried as a Lincoln assassination conspirator. Since John's trial was 18 months after his mother's execution, he benefited from the Supreme Court's 1866 Ex parte Milligan ruling that denied military tribunals jurisdiction over civilians in any area where civil courts are available. Consequently, John was set free after a hung jury could not agree on his murder charge. Aside from its connection to the Booth conspiracy, Surrattsville was a key way station for other Confederate spies. Typically, they would cross the Potomac River at night in rowboats at Boyd's Hole, Virginia, the present location of Caldon State Park in Virginia. After a mile boat crossing to the Maryland shore at Maryland Point, they would continue another 34 miles to Surrattsville, to the safe house at Surrattsville on horseback, with animals provided by the many Southern sympathizers in the region. Although the village was merely a road crossing, it had a post office where John was the postmaster. Sometimes Confederates would communicate with spies and other Southern sympathizers in the North by writing them a letter sealed within an envelope franked with a United States postage stamp. That's put in the post office to work for your organization. Anyway, the Surrattsville route figures into my new firepower novel in several ways. In one example, the Union Army's Ordnance Chief, General James W. Ripley, rendezvoused secretly with his nephew, Confederate General Roswell Ripley of South Carolina. Both were authentic historical characters and West Point graduates. Starting with the Crimean War in 1853, Roswell developed a firearms import-export business as a civilian, while James remained in the Army as an ordnance expert. In 1860, Roswell proposed a Southern Army capable of producing 10,000 guns annually to be funded collectively by his home state, together with Alabama and Georgia. Firepower is a fictional account of the Confederate Secret Service's efforts to block the introduction of repeating rifles into the Northern armies. They could fire up to 7 times faster than the muzzle loaders. that were commonly used at that time. The story connects the dots of genuine historical events and people to develop an otherwise unseen picture that explains the reluctance of the Union Army's ordnance bureaus to buy repeaters. It explains that reluctance. Okay, so let me just share something with you here. This is a copy of the cover of Firepower. You can get the book at Amazon for $12.99. If you want an autographed copy, it'll be $17 from me at Amazon. A paperback version is $12.99. To get the autographed copy, you can email me, Phil, PHIL _Lee, LEIGH @me.com. You can also get a Kindle version of this story for merely $2.99. So I want to thank you for watching, and stop screen. Okay, there we go. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.